How's everybody doing? Okay, so this is, or at least yesterday was Purim too. Anybody know what Purim is? Nobody knows what Purim is. Okay, so read the book of Esther. Yes. No, that's Purim. Read the book of Esther. It's only 10 chapters. So it's usually, and I don't know why it's so late, and maybe there's a connection to having Purim with Palm Sunday, but usually Purim is earlier in late February, early March. So this year it's more late March. So there's probably some kind of connection that it's both Purim and Palm Sunday. So where's my readers? Okay. Sophia, want to go first? No? Shay can go first? Okay. Read Job 28:28.
All right. Where's that at? Find it.
It should be right there.
Right where?
You're in 28, right?
Yeah.
28, right there. 28.
And to man he said, Behold the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding.
Okay, very good. Okay, so who wants to go next? Okay, Nate, get up here. Okay, I'm going to find it for you. You got Psalms 1:10:10. Okay, read it aloud. 1:10:10. Whoops, do I got it there? It is. There's another 1:10:10. Okay, so it's something different. Okay. It is Psalms. There's only one Psalms 1. Okay, go ahead and read Proverbs 1:7. We'll come back to the other one. Proverbs 1:7. And that will help me find the other one. Okay, read Proverbs 1:7 for me.
Which one?
Right here.
That one?
Yep.
To understand a Proverbs,
No, right here. 7, not 6.
the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, it was Psalms 111:10. That was the mistake. So who wants Psalms 111:10? Okay, you got Psalms 111:10. Okay, I got to turn the page. Psalms 111:10.
I got a longer one. The fear. Oh, is it on? The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all those who do his commandments. His praise endures forever.
Okay, thank you. Good job. Okay, your turn, Sophia. Okay, Proverbs 9:10. Can you find it for me? You can't see? Well, let's lower it. Proverbs 9:10, right there.
The fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Okay, that's good enough. There was a little bit more to that verse, but good enough. Okay, Ecclesiastes 12:13. Okay, who wants that one? Well, Taylor, you can go. You know where Ecclesiastes is. You want to find Ecclesiastes for me, or do I got to find it? Can she find it? The pressure is on now. She's found Ecclesiastes. It's 12:13. Okay.
And further, my son, be admonished by these of making many books. There is no end, and much study is wearisome to the flesh.
Okay. Go ahead and read
13.
13.
Let
yeah.
us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all.
Okay, very good. Okay, and then the last one is Matthew 10:28. Can you quote it? You can't quote it? No? Okay. You can quote it, Jay? Okay. 10:28. I'm in chapter 10, so you can find 28.
And do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Okay. So, what did all those verses have in common? Fear of the Lord. So what is fear of the Lord? And we're going to do this. We're going to do this a little differently, so you guys can participate. This is when I was back in law school. You had to participate. So they would ask you questions. Okay. So fear of the Lord. What does fear of the Lord mean? Yes, sir. Okay. Understand what he's capable. What is he capable of? He's capable of everything, meaning he's capable of what? He's capable of everything. So God can do all things? Okay, so he can do all things. So could God create a rock that he couldn't move? No, we won't go there. That's an old philosophical question. Okay, so he can do all things. Christ can do all things, and we can do all things through Christ who what? And anybody know where that's found at? Besides the pastors? Philippians 4:13. Very good. She got it. Give it a round for her. So, okay. So you can do... Okay. So we're back to the fear of God, though, okay? So fear of God, he can do all things. What are some of the things? So give me another definition of maybe what fear of God would mean. Okay. Do you think Pastor Brett on Wednesday night spoke about fear? You think we should be up there fearing God? Saying, oh no, what God going to do this to me? Do you think God's a tyrant? Okay, God is not a tyrant. Okay, that's true. Okay, so he's not a tyrant, but he can do all things in the verse that Jasmine read, that he can send you to what place? Okay, so that's a real place, right? Okay, nobody wants to go there, right? Okay, but the fear of God. See, my profession is as a lawyer, so I go before judges. So God is like the judge, right? So a judge in the natural can do what? Send you to jail. Oh, no. So, they can send you to jail. They have black robes, and they can send people to jail. So what? So hell is a lot worse than jail, though. Okay? So that's one of the things. So it says the beginning of wisdom, or the fear of the Lord, is the beginning of wisdom. Okay? So let's ask, what is wisdom? And don't say your name means wisdom, even though in the Greek it does. Okay. That's knowledge. Okay, wisdom is knowledge. Okay, what else? What do you say, Nate? Peaceful? It can be peaceful, yeah. What else? What else does wisdom mean? Josiah, you know what wisdom means? Okay. Maybe you'll know what it means after today. So wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge, but it's more than knowledge. Understanding. Could it be doing the right thing at the right time at the right place? Okay. So those 1, 2 you read from Job, Psalms and Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. Those are 4 different books, and then you read from Matthew, which was the New Testament. So I wanted to make sure that you knew this wasn't just an Old Testament concept. It was also a New Testament concept, to fear God. Okay, so it's a New Testament concept, but what does Job, Psalms, Proverbs, and Ecclesiastes have in common? Anybody know? And the pastors could even answer this one. What is it? So we have different books of the Old Testament. The first 5 books are called the Torah. Well, actually, Proverbs was written and Ecclesiastes was written by Solomon. Psalms was written that Psalm 111 was probably written by David, and the Psalms were written by different people. Job is, who knows who wrote Job? But all 4 of these were wisdom literature. So in that you got wisdom. So it's the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Okay? So it's what? It's not the incompletion of wisdom, because there's other things you can take in regards to wisdom afterwards. But the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So God's up there. He's the judge. He can basically do what he wants to. That's the first. If you want to be wise and do the right thing at the right time, at the right place, then what? You have the fear of the Lord. So one of the things with the fear of the Lord is respect. It's honor. It's as we say, he's the judge. And I've had clients who's done this before. They go in and they don't respect the judge. Guess what happens if you don't respect the judge? You get jail. You get a tongue lashing, and you don't want to be the case immediately following that case, or depending on who the judge is, they basically do the same thing to you. They even chew out the lawyer, and we're going back there, and we said nothing to do with it. It's the client's guy back here. Okay, so this is God. So God says to fear him. Part of that is wisdom, is to know that you are accountable to God for what you do. There's other verses in Matthew says, no idle words. Every idle word you will be judged for. Okay, just think about that. How many have said idle words before? Well, a few of us. Okay. But you will know, you will be judged for those idle words. Now, by the grace of God, that's what's clean. That's what Friday and Sunday is about. Okay? But what I'm saying is, the fear of the Lord, really, the best definition that I found for fear of the Lord is taking God seriously. It's basically saying, okay, this is God Almighty. You take him seriously. When a judge enters the courtroom in his black robes, you're supposed to take it seriously. So it is essentially everybody's supposed to rise when the judge enters in. That's a sign of respect. You don't go up to a judge, and I know some of the judges, I know some of them personally. I can have lunch with some of them. I don't go up and call him Alan. He says, no, it's Judge Moss. I don't call him Frank. No, it's Judge Miller. Some of you know Judge Miller. Okay. Some of you don't go up to Judge Lewis and call him Benji or Benjamin. It's Judge Lewis. I saw Judge Lipke at the pharmacy Friday when I was picking up something. He was picking up something too. And I'll say, how you doing, Scotty? No, his name is Judge Lipke. Even out in public, I would refer to him as judge, as a sign of respect. So, with God as a sign of respect, and yeah, Jesus' friend too. I think the chosen kind of sees it. He's a friend, but he's also, and I think most of the Jesus portrayals kind of portray Jesus as kind of weak. I think the chosen kind of has Jesus the right way. He's not weak. He's basically a good representation of what I see Jesus is. He's not weak, but he's powerful. But you respect him. So there's a respect there. There's a respect. So this is the fear of the Lord, the respect, the honor, knowing that he's going to hold you accountable for everything that you do. So that when you enter into his presence, there should be respect. There shouldn't be, oh, this is just church. No, we are meeting with God. We are meeting with the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Judge of Judges, you might say. And so that's very important. So that's what it's saying. It's the beginning of wisdom. So that's what wisdom begins with. Now, what was wisdom? Anybody remember what I described wisdom as? Doing the right thing at the right time at the right place. Okay? So that's wisdom. So that's what the wisdom literature is about. You read Proverbs. I think Proverbs is very important for you to read because it portrays a lot of wisdom. It gives you a nugget of wisdom that you can use out there, and it's still relevant when Solomon wrote it to today. So, wisdom. Now, wisdom, I think, helps you with knowledge. It helps you with knowledge. So, how many struggle in school? Anybody struggle in school? Okay. Have you prayed about it? Have you prayed that you would not struggle in school, that you would not struggle with math? Because you know who invented math? Who invented math? They say the Greeks or the Arabs or somebody like that, but God invented it. Okay, so 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, is 2 plus 2 ever 5? It may be 5 when you vote, but that was for adults, but okay. Okay, so 2 plus 2 is 4. That's true. Even the harder math concepts are the same. Okay, so there are principles out there. And that's what Proverbs kind of portrays. So it's learning the principles. So, and how many are 17 in here? Okay, a couple are 17. Okay, so in 4 years, you'll be how old? Again, math here. You didn't think you'd learn math in church, huh? 21. So you think you'll be a lot different when you're 21 than 17? No, you don't? Okay. Will you be in school at 21? If you're in college? If you're like me, you'd go to college till you're about 40. I don't know. No, I think I got done when about 27, 28 or something like that. So, okay. So, but then, well, I won't go there. Okay, that may seem boasting. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be different. So, how many's 14 in here? Okay. So, you're 18. Okay. So, let's say 14 plus 10. How old will you be then? 24. Okay, very good. Give him a math award. Okay. Okay. So 24, you think you'll be a lot different from 14 to 24? Okay. So you will be, okay? Okay, so you're going to have to, what did Pastor Trenton in fact say? When you are out there, when you are out there in the real world, you may think, "Oh, I'm 22. I got a degree in computer science and engineering or something like that, so I know it all. I got a degree in business. I got a degree in law. I should," or whatever it is. Or you're just out there, you went to the military when you're 18 and came out, and you think, okay, I spent my 4 years in the military. I was in Iraq or Afghanistan, and now I know what it's going to be like. And there are lessons that, I think you're accelerated in certain settings. You're most definitely accelerated to age up in the military.
Amen, brother.
There's times I think if you go to college, kind of like what I did, it kind of de-accelerates you, because there's a lot of people who they go to college for one reason. And what reason is that? To have fun. Okay? And so they get there. I had one guy, freshman year, he said, "Why are you," I went freshman year to SIU Carbondale. Anybody ever heard of that school before? Okay, it has a reputation of being a party school. Okay. So this guy says, "I'm only down here to party," saying, I'm gonna flunk out and I'm gonna go back home to Chicago, because you got your whole bunch of people from Chicago who come down to Carbondale, and all they want to do for a year is party and be away from home. And then they go back. This guy says, "I already got a mechanic's job lined up. I'm gonna go back and be a mechanic." So it's like I said, "But I'm gonna spend this year partying." Do you think God would approve of that? No. He says the fear of the Lord. So he's wasting a year of his life, or he wasted a year of his life just idling, just basically doing what he pleased. So that is, but things are going to be a lot different. Do you think it would be better if you live for God as a 14-year-old? Or say, okay, I'm not going to live for God at 14, but when I'm 34, I'm going to start living for God. How many think that you should begin living for God as a 14-year-old? Yeah. Do you think when you get 24 or 34 or whatever, that you'd be farther along with God if you started living for Him at 14 than if you started living for Him at 34? Now, you might even think of a different excuse when you're 34 and says, okay, I'm 34. I said I'd live for God when I was 14, when I'm 34, but I think I can push it back to, say, retirement age when I'm 66. So I'll start living for God when I'm 66. Do you think they'll be farther along? No? Okay. Now, God will accept you whenever, whether you're 4, 14, 24, or 64. But who read Ecclesiastes 12:13? Does anybody remember reading that one? Okay. So it was a little bit different than the rest of the ones, wasn't it? Okay. Do you remember how it was a little bit different? No? Okay. Should we read Ecclesiastes 12:13 again? Okay, let's read it again. Okay, I'll read it this time. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. What do you think Solomon was talking about then? The conclusion of the whole matter. He was getting at, okay, what's life all about? Okay. What's life all about? And it says, fear God and keep His commandments, for this is man's all. So what is life all about? Is it about having fun? Well, God's the creator God. He doesn't necessarily, there's nothing which says it. The 11th commandment says, thou shalt not have fun, does it? Thou shalt not have fun. Double negative. Maybe we need to talk English here too. Okay. So God's not opposed to fun. He's opposed to living in the flesh. You know what living in the flesh is? Living in the flesh is sin, yeah. So what's a choice about living in the flesh? Galatians 5:16. So it lists some of the things about living in the flesh. And so in that, and that's saying, no, I want to do it my way right now instead of God's way. Now, God's way, even the thou shalt nots are to protect you. So, thou shalt not steal. Why should you not steal? It's wrong, but let's think a little bit more on this. Why is it wrong to steal? It's breaking the law. Does Josiah know? It's wrong, yes. So I own, let's say I have $100. No, let's scratch that. Let's say I have $100 bill, and you know me. Let's say you know I have $100 bill in my billfold. You get out a gun and you say, I want that $100 bill. Why is that wrong? You want something someone else has. Okay. So that's actually breaking more than one Ten Commandment there, isn't it? Okay. Covetousness as well. If not, some people see money as idolatry. Okay? So thou shalt not have any graven images, any idols before me, so you're breaking another one there. Okay, so you're breaking not only the law, because there's something behind the law. It says, as a basic thing, why should we not speed? Does anybody know why we should not speed? We should be like in Germany, the Autobahn, be able to go as fast as we can on the highways. Most people do that anyway. How come? Okay. So if you go 90 on the highways, okay, so you go 95 on the highway. If you go 93 on the highway, I can probably get you off. Oh, I know where it's there. Okay, you go 95 on the highway, Judge Miller, the popular Judge Miller, what's he going to do? He's going to throw the book at you. Okay, so why is that? Anybody want to know why going 95 is worse than going 93? Anybody have any idea? You don't have any idea? You're going faster? Okay, that's part of the reason. Okay. Okay, so they believe that if you go faster, then you're more likely not be able to stop in time if a child jumps out in front of you, if a car pulls out in front of you. And therefore, the faster you go, the least likely you'll be able to stop. And therefore, that's the reason that they say if you go faster than 71 on the highway on Interstate 55, you're breaking the law. Okay? So that's the reason behind the law. Now, they got some laws you can't understand the reason for now. Okay? And it says that's what we have Washington for, and basically they call evil good in Isaiah 10, evil good and good evil. But what we're here for is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Some of it is to start thinking deeper about some things. Okay? One of the things Pastor Trenton is doing is saying, okay, why do we not believe in evolution? Says the experts believe in evolution. Some of the smartest guys in the world believe in evolution, or so-called smartest guys in the world. Why don't we believe in evolution? Well, for one, the Bible says creation. And for two, there's evidence out there which says they've never seen something evolve, nothing evolved. We didn't evolve from Lucy. We didn't evolve. There's not a missing link out there. There's no evidence for a missing link. It says, how did we get all the fossils and all that? Even on mountains. It's called a flood. It's in the Bible. Okay, so the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. So, what should happen? So, yeah, God's not the tyrant. He's not going to zap us for one sin. Unless you're Ananias and Sapphira. But I don't think that was just for one sin. I think there was a pattern there as well. And one of the things is they were mocking God, and that's why they got zapped. So, but I think the question becomes, okay, let's take life maybe a little more seriously. I think let's take life and say, okay, let's most importantly take God seriously. And let's know that, hey, there's reasons why maybe your parents tell you, hey, don't do certain things. They're trying to protect you. There's the reasons God says not to do certain things. He's there to protect you. And you can probably if you think about it, you can probably figure out why. Okay? And so the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So you can, that is, we just read it. It was 6 different places in the Bible at least. Okay? So you can tell somebody, if you can remember the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, you can say, I know 6 verses now. I know that the fear of the Lord is beginning of wisdom, and that's in Job, that's in Psalms, that's in a couple of places in Proverbs, in Ecclesiastes, even the fear of God's mentioned in Matthew. So you know 6 verses. Say, don't think you don't know any verses of the Bible. You know the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So what's the beginning of wisdom? Okay. And what does fear of the Lord mean? That's wisdom. Wisdom is doing the right thing at the right time at the right place. What's the fear of the Lord? The fear of the Lord. Respect God is a little more than respect, but okay. Respect. It's that, hey, you are accountable for all your actions. Okay. So let's go ahead and pray. If you want to take God more seriously, which we all need to do. None of us probably take God serious enough. We just think back there and we don't dig in. Well, how do you, let me ask one more question. How do you think we can take God more seriously, or how can we live in the fear of the Lord? How can we be wise? Anybody got an idea how we can be wise? Yes, sir. Read your Bible. Very good. That's one. Okay. Anybody else got a way? Sophia, how to be wise? Go to church. Yes, churches help. Because you get, and some people may say some things which helps you in this season. And say, okay. What else? Brooklyn. Yep, that's what some of the verses said, didn't it? It says, keep the commandments. So thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Or what does bear false witness mean? Lie. Thou shalt not lie. How many of us have ever lied before? Don't you remember what George Washington said? George Washington, when he chopped down the cherry tree, might have just been a legend, but he said, I cannot tell a lie. When we lie. And sometimes we lie to ourselves. Okay. So, who wants to pray? Anybody want to pray? Any of the kids want to pray? None of the kids want to pray. No? Okay. Okay. You want to pray? Get up here and pray then. You didn't get to read any verses, so you can pray. Okay, there you go. So what is prayer? Just talking to God. So just talk with God.
I can't. I'm
Okay.
so
Anybody
nervous.
else want to try?
I can't.
Yeah, don't look at God. This is between you and God. No, we're looking at you though. Forget the worries.
Can they hear me? Like, okay. Dear Father, I want to pray over everybody here that you may bless their hearts and their souls, and that you may find them in their time of need. Guide them through this very dark tunnel and let them see the light towards the end. I have more to say, but I don't know what to say. Ooh, I got it. Okay. I want to pray over any anxiety, stress, worry going over this church. I want to pray that you may guide us next time we come here. Amen.
Amen. Very good. Okay. Again, if you want prayer, we and the pastors will be up here to pray. I think that it is essential that we go to school and that we take God seriously. So this was a little bit different. I hadn't done this in a long time. I think it went well. But when I did youth ministry 25 years ago, I used the Socratic method like this. And that's why they call this the Socratic method. So I didn't know whether or not I could keep doing it. But I think it was halfway successful. So did you learn anything today? Yes. Okay.